Tonight's Stadium Championship Series East roars into Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts. After two events in Atlanta, Bryce Kenny looks to keep Great Clips Mohawk Warrior a cut above the rest en route to another freestyle win. And Tyler Menninga attempts to clinch the series and win his second straight championship. Bucking Tristan England and Todd LeDuc battle their way through Boston and keep the trophy away from Gravedigger. Find out when round 22 begins now.
Go! Final quarter, England's got it, and he is your racing champion. Oh, can he get the save? And he's got it. Going up. Oh, yeah. He's going high. That is when LeDuc leap off the container. With the combination move. Huge air, and he's gonna make the save.
Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts will host Stadium Championship Series East for round 22 of Monster Jam. Good evening, everyone. I'm Scott Jordan alongside the 7 Deuce Adam Enticknap. Tonight we are back with Stadium Championship Series East after 2 rounds in Atlanta. Bryce Kenny went viral at Atlanta Motor Speedway after launching Great Clips Mohawk Warrior into the stratosphere and winning freestyle Adam the Heavy, one of the top moments of the year.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's landed yet. What an iconic moment in freestyle and a much-needed win. That has to be a nominee for Stadium Freestyle of the Year.
Tyler Menninga picked up both overalls. He's now won 15 out of 19, which is an eye-popping stat. He's got a chance to clinch the series here tonight. Tristan England, Todd LeDuc both hoping he does not. How should they approach tonight's competitions?
You know, tonight they have to be on their game. They have to be able to put the pressure on Tyler Menninga. If they are not in tip-top shape, they're going to make it very, very easy for Tyler, and that's exactly what they don't want to do. Todd LeDuc, Tristan England, they need to be on their A game.
Let's hear from the two drivers trying to catch Tyler for the series points lead, Tristan England and Todd LeDuc, as we join our third member of our broadcast team, Leslie Mears.
So it's a big weekend for these two guys. They're trying to keep Tyler Menninga from clinching that championship. So, Todd, I know that you've been pushing hard through the end of the season, and the results board has really been showing that. How can you push even harder today in these conditions to kind of stop him from getting those points he needs?
No, it's frustrating. I was hoping for a dry track. You know, that's where I think we can rise above him. But him and I had a conversation last week about, hey, we got to step up to the plate. We got to beat, Tyler. We have to stop his reign of just smashing all of us. So, in Atlanta, we had a great success there. We won skills twice, won racing, and we just lost the overalls by just nothing, both days. So we're going to push hard here. I want to make sure we're going into Denver. I want him to have to work for it.
And Tristan, for you, this is your first year on a stadium tour, and you're showing out. Second position right now, and you have that ability too. So, what are you going to bring to the table tonight to stop him?
Oh, well, I was hoping for a dry track as well. I think we all were, because we want to give the fans exactly what they want. But you have an outcome like this. There's no telling what could happen with these Monster Jam trucks. I'm just very excited. It's going to be a great weekend regardless. In rain or shine, we always talk about, we're still going to dig the competition.
Thank you, Leslie. Let's take a look at the nice driver lineup. Adam, who do you like winning the event championship?
Scott, we just heard from him. Todd LeDuc has the most experience on this dirt, and he got the overall here back in 2021. Megalodon has to be the guy to do it tonight.
And when your back's against the wall, you come out swinging, and Todd LeDuc's going to have to swing for the fences here tonight in Foxborough. Let's take a look at the current season points standings coming into tonight's action. Tyler Menninga, as we mentioned, has a big lead over Tristan England. Todd LeDuc in third. Bryce Kenny in fourth. The Max D truck. We've seen multiple drivers throughout that truck this season. 412 is the points stay with the truck, but a lot on the line here. Position always important as we head into World Finals. Drivers will compete tonight in 3 competitions. JCB Racing, the Great Clips Skills Challenge, and freestyle. Points are awarded based on finish, with 12 going to the winner of each competition. The driver with the most points at the end of the event is crowned overall event champion. Here's track talk, track conditions at a marginal coming into tonight. It's rain from Friday morning until this afternoon. There's no practice on Friday, so what do drivers need to look out for on this dirt?
Well, I will tell you what. Gillette Stadium is one of the most difficult tracks and one of the most difficult dirts. On top of that, it is open in Massachusetts, so that makes it even more difficult with this weather. Tonight, drivers are going to have to be at the top of that freestyle bracket to try to get out there very soon. The race ramps and the freestyle ramps are going to be going away very quickly, and that will hinder your points.
Here's our JCB Racing bracket. Max D versus El Toro Loco, Megalodon Shaker, Black Pearl Bad Company, Kraken Lucas Stabilizer. The buys go to JCB Digatron, Great Clips Mohawk Warrior, Jester, and Gravedigger. In Atlanta, both racing finals were Menninga versus Leduc. They split the wins. Adam, who gets there tonight?
You know, it's going to be a very difficult night, but I have to go with Todd Leduc. He has the most experience on this dirt, like I said before, and he has the most wins, so it should be a good night for racing.
We're going to head to the track here. JCB Racing kicking off in round one. It's going to be Cody Saucier in Max D up against Jamie Garner in El Toro Loco. Jamie 11-19 on the year. Cody looking for his first stadium racing round win. And we got our first green light. Max D wobbly off the berm. Jamie Garner has the lead, slowing down on that inside corner.
You can tell both of these drivers have no horsepower right now. The track is so slick. They're going to have to be very careful. The trucks are going to push wide.
They're going to have to rely on the traction on the BKT tires. They've got it right here. Look at Jamie Garner slinging all the way out. Almost misses the race ramp entirely. And Cody Saucier trying to hang on for the win. And Maxie slowing down again, trying to line up for the race ramp. It's going to be close, though. Jamie Garner may have got there first. We can't even hardly see the chalk lines. And El Toro Loco takes a win. Here's the original Super Glue to the action replay.
You can see just what I talked about. These trucks are pushing wide. It looked like Cody Saucier got on the gas just a little bit late and gave El Toro Loco the win.
Ryan Disharoon Shaker, Tyler Duke Megalodon track, absolute chaotic right now. As I mentioned, up here you can't even see those chalk lines on the finish or the start. And here we go, Megalodon versus Shaker. And they are driving on ice right now on this muddy dirt in Foxborough.
Oh, yeah, I like what Todd Leduc there. He turned very early, had faith in what he was doing. He said a prayer and made it work. It looks like Megalodon has the advantage.
And Todd Leduc gets a nice low to the ground there, trying to round this final corner. Goes Megalodon. They're both going to slide and drift across the finish line. We go, and Todd Leduc goes high, gets the leap off the ramp, and that'll do it. Take a look at the replay.
Looks like Shaker goes a little wide at the beginning, has a nice run here at the end, pushes wide in that mud, and Megalodon coming away with a close win.
John Gordon, Bad Company, up against Colvinard and Black Pearl with an update on these drivers in the mud. Let's go to Leslie.
All the drivers said that this is the race to watch tonight. Colvinard is very good in muddy conditions. He seemed to have those turning angles down. And we can't forget that John Gordon has mud truck experience, and he always comes out on top here. So they're saying that the winner of tonight's racing final could come from this matchup.
Well, thank you, Leslie. They are all kinds of discombobulated on this track, Adam. They're going in and out of these race lanes. John Gordon completely off the track. Colvinard trying to get around him here. Bad Company just slowing down, hitting the brakes. Colvinard not going to get across the finish line. So Black Pearl will advance, but what a crazy race that was.
You can see here, John Gordon only does half of the circle, and then he impedes the race lane for Cole. That's going to be a dagger in the bracket later.
Our final round one race, Lindsey Reed, Lucas Stabilizer, Nick Pagliarulo in Kraken. Fans here in Foxborough aren't going to get a lightning fast pass, at least in round one. Slow is fast here. It's all about technical skill, trying to get through this mud and navigate these 12,000-pound trucks as we see Lindsey Reed clipping the pod, but she has got the lead coming out of that berm.
And what the key here tonight, you can see, is these drivers have to have the truck turned so early and have that rear steer pushing. You can see how wide Kraken is going on this track. It is so hard, and it's getting slicker and slicker.
And if you have rear steer issues, you're absolutely done on this dirt. Lindsey Reed across the finish line. Here's the original Super Glue to the action replay.
Kraken, you can see, gets off into that slop, but Lindsey Reed staying nice and slow and steady, coming away with the win.
Here's our bracket for JCB Racing Round 2. JCB Digatron, Toro Loco, Great Clips Mohawk Warrior, Megalodon, Jester versus Black Pearl, Gravedigger versus Lucas Stabilizer. The fastest time in Round 1, Todd Leduc Megalodon, 32.464. Coming up, Round 2 begins as we continue with JCB Racing next on Monster Jam. Monster Jam is brought to you by JCB, the official heavy equipment partner of Monster Jam. Welcome back to Foxborough for the second round of JCB Racing. And up first in round 2, Tristan England, JCB Digatron, Jamie Garner, El Toro Loco. Track is getting worse. Leslie, what are the crew chiefs telling their drivers down there?
After round 1, crew chiefs are telling their drivers to stay calm and not overdrive. The other thing they've got to worry about out here, guys, is ruts. It is really getting bad in those wide sweeping turns, so they're really talking to them, trying to keep them out of those so they don't upset the apple cart.
Thank you, Leslie. Tristan England has a good pass going here. Jamie Garner with one as well. They're navigating it nicely, and Jamie Garner has the advantage. Tristan England goes a little narrow here into the final corner.
Tristan England kept the rear steer on. That was an interesting move. Let's see if it pays off.
Jamie Garner with an upset here as El Toro Loco advances. Here's the original super glue. Glue to the action replay.
Looks like Tristan grabs the pod there. You can see that rear steer sticking, and it's on the entire time all the way around the corner. Hopefully that is not an issue going on throughout the night.
Bryce Kenny, Great Clips Mohawk Warrior, enters the bracket up against Todd LeDuc and Megalodon, advancing from round 1. Bryce 24-19 on the year with a win. He's never won on this track at Gillette Stadium. Both go high across the berm. They got to go around one more time here to get out on the outside oval part of this track. And Bryce Kenny, great narrow corner, comes out first.
See, you can see the two different styles. Bryce Kenny very hard on the throttle, trying to get it straight. Megalodon nice and smooth. Megalodon turns a little bit too much there. Looks like he lost some time to Bryce Kenny.
Yeah, nothing smooth about that. He clipped the pod, and then the race ramp. Bryce Kenny with a huge win over Megalodon. Take a look at the replay.
Looks like in this race, heavy throttle pays off. The key was getting that truck straight. Todd LeDuc oversteering with the rear steer. Loses a little time to Bryce Kenny.
Next up in round 2, Covenard, Black Pearl, Matt Pagliarulo in Jester. Cole comes in short under 500, 13-14, but 3-1 in his career at Foxborough. And Covenard, Black Pearl starts off, goes fast up on the berm, then has to hit the brakes. Matt Pagliarulo going up on the pod here to watch Cole roll around the track.
Jester seems to keep on going, though, but hopefully Cole will get a better time than he did in the first round, get a better bracket seat.
Well, that's the shortcut of all shortcuts there for Jester, and he's going around again. Maybe a backflip here in the racing competition. Matt is struggling to get through this racetrack. Covenard gets the win and moves on.
You can tell Matt Pagliarulo just gets into that slick stuff on the edge where all that muddy slop is, hits the gas too hard, does the same thing again, oversteering the truck, and Covenard comes away with a big win.
Final race this round, Tyler Menninga, Gravedigger, Lindsey Reed, Lucas Stabilizer. Tyler 48 on the year with 10 wins. He's had one race in this track, in this stadium, 1-0, but his truck broke back in 2019, so redemption on the mind for Tyler Menninga. Lindsey Reed hits the brakes, she slides a little bit, and Tyler Menninga comes out firing.
Yeah, it just looks like Lindsey Reed got off into that slop, same as Jester did as well. Unfortunately, a lot of time lost for her. Looks like Gravedigger has this one in the bag.
Watch Gravedigger who just accelerates on the corner, hits the brakes, drifts around, gets a perfect race lane up over the ramp. Tyler Menninga moves on. Here's a super glue replay.
Lindsey Reed getting off into that slop that we talked about. As soon as you hit the brakes, that truck is going to slide and push outside. You cannot do that. You have to pre-predict the corners.
Here's a JCB Racing bracket in the semifinals. Toro Loco against Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. Black Pearl versus Gravedigger. Fastest time last round, Bryce Kenny, 31.089. We are down to the Final Four in JCB Racing. The semifinals and finals are next on Monster Jam. Monster Jam is brought to you by Great Clips, the official hair salon of Monster Jam. Download the Great Clips app and check in online today. We are back at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough for the JCB Racing semifinals. And up first in the semis, Jamie Garner, El Toro Loco, Bryce Kenny, Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. Bryce with the fastest time last round gets lane choice here and comes in now with 25-19 with one racing win. So Bryce Kenny, the wheels turning there, the BKT tires working overtime. Bryce with the lead as we go around again.
I like Bryce Kenny's strategy, but he grabs the pod.
Able to recover a little bit, gets up on the race ramp. Jamie Garner did the same thing on the other side of the track.
It's like Bryce Kenny got a little too aggressive, oversteered the truck, giving Jamie Garner the advantage.
And El Toro Loco goes off to the side of the ramp to try to give him more room to turn. It's working out great so far for El Toro Loco as Jamie Garner gets the win. Here's the original Super Glue. Glue to the action replay.
He oversteers, steering a little too early, grabs the pod, and what happens is Bryce Kenny knows he has to make up that time, pushes it too hard into that last turn, and ends up sliding out.
Our final matchup, it's Tyler Menninga, Gravedigger, Cole Bernard in the Black Pearl. Tyler 5-1 on the year against Cole. And we saw what Tyler did in those corners last round. He accelerates, he goes up high over the berm, gets the back two wheels nearly off of it, and we are even coming out of the outside oval.
This is shaping up to be a good race. Both drivers trying to stay on that inside line, stay out of the mud. It's coming down to the last turn.
Tyler Menninga has the lead, drifts his way around, trying to get that race lane up onto the ramp, has it, and nails the finish. Tyler Menninga, Gravedigger, moving on.
This, unfortunately, was just Tyler Menninga out-drove Cole Bernard. He was more aggressive on the throttle, had some better lines, and you can see Cole Bernard comes up short.
Our finals are set. Jamie Garner, El Toro Loco, Tyler Menninga, Gravedigger. Tyler's lost 8 times this year. One of those was to Jamie Garner. So El Toro Loco has beaten Gravedigger before. He's going to try to do it again to get the first 12 points of the night. Green light here in Foxborough. Final race in JCB Racing has begun. The winner takes the lead in the BKT overall point standings. El Toro Loco struggling to get out Tyler Menninga with a big lead.
And this is what is so hard about racing Tyler Menninga, is you know that you have to be absolutely perfect. Jamie Garner pushed it just a little too hard into that first turn, overdrives the inner circle, and now Tyler once again has the advantage.
Tyler Menninga figures out tracks faster than most drivers in Amsterdam. He has this one locked in. He gets the win as you check out the original Super Glue. Glue to the action replay.
Jamie Garner here, you can see he just drove it in a little hotter than normal, rides over the top of the berm with those rear BKT tires, goes wide. Tyler Menninga gets another racing win.
This is 11th of the season. He is on the track with Leslie.
Conditions not ideal, but you seem to have the perfect way to pitch in the corners that really helped you pick up speed out there, Tyler.
Yeah, when it's slick, the trucks do not want to turn. When you turn all 4 wheels, they want to go straight. So you have to cheat that and actually turn way earlier. And it's not even all steering. It's a combination between gas, steering, very little brake. It's a lot of throttle control in slick conditions, and we nailed it here today in Foxborough. This feels awesome.
Tyler gets 12 with that win as we check out our first BKT overall point standings. El Toro Loco in second, Black Pearl currently in third, Great Clips Mohawk Warrior in fourth, and JCB Digatron currently rounds out our top 5. Up next in Foxborough was a Great Clips Skills Challenge where drivers could attempt 2 technical maneuvers on 2 wheels, or they could do a donut, and each driver was scored by fans in attendance on creativity, skill, and execution. With 12 points once again on the line, let's take a look back at our top 5 competitors. Coming to fifth, Todd LeDuc, Megalodon going for a stop. He ends up with a nose wheelie.
Gets that thing 90 degrees in the air, says what's up to Mohawk Warrior. Nice job.
Coming in fourth, Nick Pagliulo, Kraken, just go for the big air off the ramp.
Nice little air for Kraken there.
And then Black Pearl's Cole Bernard, Donut City here in Gillette Stadium.
Very smart move on these slick conditions here in Foxborough. Getting that thing spinning quick. Gotta love that.
Turns a donut into a mud pie here, Adam. Lindsey Reed takes second place with a big sky wheelie and Lucas stabilizer.
Nice decision going for the sky wheelie.
And getting the win, Tristan England, JCB Digatron does get the stoppie, slides it out, nice execution.
This is so impressive by Tristan England. Throws a little style and flair, hitting that rear steer. Looks like everything is fine from racing. The BKT tires are hooking up right now. As you can see, he goes in for another combination move, rides off the side of the race ramp. Beautiful job, Tristan England.
Tristan gets his 3rd win of the season in skills. Let's join Leslie in our winner.
Seemed a little treacherous out here. You know, everybody was slipping and sliding around, but not you with that attempt. You were able to really nail it.
Yeah, I mean, being out at Amsterdam University, hanging out with Tom Metz, the 14-time world champion, I get all the do's and don'ts on all the film. So I know when we get to test on the muddy transactions, I know what to do, what to expect out of these trucks. But my Monster Jam truck, it being the JCB Digatron, we dug it all the way to the top. And man, it feels awesome. First time here in Gillette, we're making new fans. I'm ecstatic.
A skills win moves Tristan up to the top of the current BKT overall point standings with 20. Colvinard right there with him as well. Lucas Stabilizer in third, Megalodon in fourth, and Great Clips Mohawk Warrior and Gravedigger currently tied 5 points off the lead. We got a good one going in Foxborough. One more competition remains. Freestyle is next on Monster Jam. Everyone in Monster Jam is proud to be partners with St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Become a partner in Hope and receive a custom St. Jude Monster Jam This Shirt Saves Lives t-shirt. Text Monster Jam to 785-833 or visit stjude.org/Monster Jam to learn more. We are back at the home of the New England Patriots with round 22 of the Monster Jam season. The wild track at Gillette Stadium has led to one of the most competitive rounds of the season on this series. 6 drivers are all within 5 points of the overall event lead. Colvinard, though, having his best night of the season. 2 podium finishes. He is tied at the top with 20 points. Adam, is this the night Colvinard finally gets that first overall event win?
It for sure could be. Tonight, Colvinard is looking like himself after that injury. But as an athlete, sometimes it just starts with a little bit of luck. And in racing, John Gordon made that mistake, and Colvinard capitalized on it, starting a little streak. Who knows what he can do tonight?
Tyler Menninga has looked human tonight, Adam, earning only 3 points in skills. It doesn't appear he's going to clinch the series here in Foxborough. So what do you attribute to Gravedigger's struggle in skills?
I mean, well, we have to say it. The championship is on the line. A little bit of mud. There is obviously mechanicals in Monster Jam, but I really think that championship being on the line and being able to close it here tonight is on his mind, and that's why he made that mistake.
Let's catch up with the BKT overall point standings entering freestyle. Tied at the top of 20, JCB Digatron and Black Pearl Lucas Stabilizer in third, Megalodon in fourth, and then Great Clips Mohawk Warrior and Gravedigger are tied right now, 15 points apiece. Let's take a look at tonight's freestyle order. Absolutely stacked to the back end with Great Clips Mohawk Warrior, Megalodon, JCB Digatron, and Gravedigger in the final 4. Adam, who has the advantage there?
I gotta go with Bryce Kenny, right? He has so much. He's on a high right now. No pun intended. After that last huge jump in Atlanta, he could get it done. Freestyle is in his wheelhouse. I can't wait to see what he has in store.
Well, that was a wow moment. You have to put it together consecutively. Bryce has not won 2 consecutive freestyles this year, so he'd have to come back out and maybe top himself there. And I know that's tough. It's a lot of pressure as an athlete when you go viral for something like that. How do you top that the following round?
It is very difficult, but the nice thing is he just did it, so he remembers that. He remembers the feeling, and he can do it again.
Well, moments ago, freestyle got underway with Ryan Disharoon, but Shaker would get shut off after hitting the wall, leaving 87 seconds on the clock. I do love the split body on Shaker, the homage to the old Shaker body, and then the red side, but just things not going his way in the mud here for Ryan.
Yeah, definitely a difficult night in Foxborough. This dirt is wreaking havoc.
Our next competitor out of Lafayette, Louisiana, Cody Saucier in Max D.
One thing about Cody is he's very, very experienced. It's not like he hasn't been in stadiums before. I think the bigger thing is just always having to get used to some kind of different truck. And tonight he is in Max D, which is another different truck. But for Cody Saucier, go out there, do what you do. You know how to get it done. Just don't mentally get in your own way and overthink it.
He's made 2 previous appearances at Foxborough, Monster Energy back in 2019, Fast Metal in 2021. And now Cody Saucier trying to navigate the mud here. This track, the weather, first of all, been relentless with the rain throughout the weekend. Now the track being relentless here tonight, as we've seen through 2 competitions. Now Cody Saucier has come to a complete stop on the near side of this track, trying to get Max D refired, and he does.
I'm wondering if the officials thought he got a little too close on that side and they shut him off. Or maybe it was an electrical issue with all this mud getting in the components on the truck. It makes it so difficult on the mechanics and the drivers. He's down again. It's going to be an electrical issue for sure.
In his 11th season, he's currently 4th on Arena Championship Series Central, and now trying to pick up the speed. Time is winding down here. He stopped twice, which has cost him all kinds of momentum. But now we got a Morgan-to-Morgan backflip attempt. Here goes Max D. Cody Saucier sends it, and Cody Saucier lands it. Tried for the moonwalk. Too muddy to make that happen, but we get our first backflip of the night, and it comes early.
Yeah, that was a great job from Cody Saucier, being able to judge that and making a mindful move of, hey, I know my truck isn't perfect. Let's get this backflip done and get a decent score.
Here's the original Super Glue. Glue to the action replay.
Great rotation in the mud. It looks like on that side there is some traction for that backflip ramp. Great job from the track crew.
9.418 takes the lead. Up next, out of Myrtle, South Dakota, Cole Vennard in the Black Pearl. So Cole coming out in that third spot. A lot of drivers like it there. Some drivers prefer to be more towards the back end. But for more on Cole's opinion of his spot in the freestyle order, let's check back in with our pit reporter, Leslie Mears.
Guys, Cole Vennard coming out with force here in freestyle. When I talked to him at halftime, he was feeling awesome about that. I told you guys earlier that he really does well in muddy, adverse conditions. He said one thing that he's really worried about, though, going this early in the event, he thinks that the track might dry out a little bit more, and guys after him might be able to get a lot more traction. So you can see he's using that throttle rhythm to his advantage, staying high action, high energy early to keep up the momentum.
All right, thank you, Leslie. Adam, in Supercross, when you start an event in a muddy track like this, what are your thoughts by the time you go through the qualifiers, through all the LCQs, until you get to the actual main heat? What are your thoughts on going all the way down at the end?
Well, one of the things that Leslie was talking about is the track getting better and better and better. As you ride the track, as the track gets prepped, you're seeing right now Cole Vennard grabs one of the trucks, but what's happening is you see that shiny spot right by Cole Vennard's left tires. That's slinging the mud off of the track, and what that does is it's just churning up all that wet dirt and getting to the drier dirt underneath, which is going to make a better compound of dirt. It's going to get a little heavier, a little stickier, and that's going to make for better traction, which means bigger air.
Well, Cole Vennard not able to get too much air as we take a look at the original Super Glue Blue to the action replay.
Here comes Cole Vennard. He's going to get a nice little sky wheelie there onto the pod. Beautiful job. And then here you can see he tries to hit the rear steer, hits JCB Digatron, and it looks like they shut him off, and that'll end his run.
Max D has the lead, but will Cody Saucier get his first stadium win of the season? Find out when freestyle continues next on Monster Jam. Welcome back to Gillette Stadium. Earlier today, fans came to the pit party for all the fun, where they got to meet the drivers, see the trucks up close and personal. It's the most family-friendly pit party in motorsports, so make sure you get your tickets at monsterjam.com. During the break, Nick Pagnarulo in Kraken, he would hit big-time air off the jump, but mechanical and electrical issues would end it early. He would not fill the clock and would not get a score. Up next in freestyle out of Hiram, Georgia, John Gordon driving Bad Company, and the truck's been having some mechanical issues. With an update on Bad Company, we check in with Leslie.
Quick mechanical update on John Gordon. He did have the bolt that goes from the inner axle to the U-joint break during the skills competition, but then when he went to fire back up, he found out he had a fuel injector stuck. And so what that means, it was just pouring fuel continuously into the cylinder. So when he goes to fire up the engine, that piston doesn't have any room to go up in that cylinder. He was able to get it started, but he said with that fuel keep pouring into the engine, he said it's a little touch and go on having good throttle control and good throttle rhythm here for freestyle.
Thank you, Leslie. John Gordon with a great wheelie on the backside of that combo move. Let's talk about Bad Company for a minute when it comes to mechanical issues. John, for the first part of the season, absolutely pristine with the truck. No issues at all. We've already talked about how it's one of the best-looking Monster Jam trucks out in the sport, very popular amongst the fans. But since his win in Houston, these issues have started mounting up left and right for him.
Yeah, it just gets more and more difficult as you wear the truck out, and in these muddy conditions, it's even more so. When all this mud and dirt gets inside and in between everything, on the air filter, on the intake, everything going on, it just wreaks absolute havoc on these trucks, and I think that's really just a testament to what's going on with John Gordon. Those are unfortunate little things, but at these events, it tends to happen more often.
Score to be 9.418 from Cody Saucier in Max D. John Gordon comes off the backside of that berm, which is now a jammer on this freestyle track. It's a nice popper. He's got some smoke coming out, maybe smoking the transmission a little bit or the motor. And now Bad Company backing up in the mud, continues to go, and he's just going to hammer this throttle until it won't hammer anymore.
Yeah, something's heating up. I don't know if it's the transmission or what's going on. The truck probably has more of a load on it because of that mud, and he's having to hit the throttle even harder to get it to go half the speed, so the trucks are getting a lot of wear and tear.
And that is going to do it for the transmission. That's going to do it for Bad Company. Take a look at the replay.
It's a nice little sky wheelie. Seems to be a popular move tonight. Getting that thing 90 degrees in the air. Great execution of that. But for John Gordon, he's going to come up a little short.
Up next, 2019 World Finals Freestyle champion Lindsay Reed, Lucas Stabilizer. She is thriving on this track. And with more on that, we go back to Leslie.
Guys, Lindsay is so excited to be back on their old track. They've taken a little bit of break from this style, and it's been very well for her. But when I asked her, I said, how is the mud going to affect you? And she said after 2 events in Jacksonville with muddy conditions in the past 2 years, she feels a lot more confident than she has in the past. So she's ready for it, guys.
Well, Lindsay has a shot here, Adam, not only to take the freestyle lead, she has a shot at the event championship. She only trails the leader by 3. If she can take the lead right here, she would eliminate Colvinard from contention and put a lot of pressure on Tristan England to try to get something going.
Yeah, definitely. And I think a testament to why Lindsay Reed is doing so good in the muddy conditions here today is that that frame and that truck seems to be very stiff and bouncy. And that's the way Cynthia really liked this truck. And she had to hop in this truck this year and get used to it and adapt to it, which is very good for freestyle. But sometimes in these softer conditions, having a stiffer setup allows you to keep the truck more straight and allows you to hit even harder on these softer conditions. So right now, the truck working very good.
Great look at the front of Lucas Stabilizer with the mud everywhere. You see that square cut out of the windshield. It allows more vision. It still does not stop the mud from flying into the cab and affecting the driver at all. What is her condition like right now when it comes to vision points?
I mean, in a Monster Jam truck, it's already terrible because you cannot look left and right. And then on top of that, you can see all the mud on the windshield. She can really only look out of that little tiny window right there. So she's really relying on her mechanic to guide her through this track and let her know how far she can go and when to turn, which is so difficult in the muddy conditions. You see her turning a little bit slower right there, trying to make sure she doesn't hit any trucks or hit the wall and not get shut off.
Lindsay Reed now has where she wants to be on the track. Morgan backflip attempt here for Lucas Stabilizer. Lindsay Reed goes up. Lindsay Reed comes down. And another great backflip. So we've seen now 2 successful ones from Maxty. Now Lucas Stabilizer. She's going to try for something else. Comes in with a floater up over the backside of the berm into a popper.
I love it. She had the door open and then swung that thing closed. A little trick my dad taught me when I was younger. Here comes the backflip. You can see great rotation. Watch that door. It's going to pop open right there. She throws it in reverse and gets that thing closed.
9.463. Lindsay Reed is the new freestyle leader. What a run for Lucas Stabilizer. Well, Lindsay Reed's just taking the freestyle lead, but will she win the event championship? We'll find out next on Monster Jam. Monster Jam is brought to you by Spin Master. Epic trucks, epic stunts, Monster Jam. Welcome back to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough as we continue on with freestyle. During the break, Matt Pagliarulo got to turn some nice air up on the step up, but front steer issues would lead Jester to a 5.252. And then Jamie Garner, El Toro Loco, would come off the car stack. We see the smoke coming out of the Crazy Bull, but he lost power in El Toro Loco, and that would end his run with a score of 6.985. And now freestyle continues out of Curtisville, North Carolina. Bryce Kenny, Great Clips Mohawk Warrior, with more on Bryce and his approach to this track. Let's hear from Leslie.
Guys, Bryce told me that kind of the secret to this track is that you've got to let the track come to you a little bit. And what he means by that is you've got to be a little bit more patient out here. There's a lot of jumps that can throw you into other things out here. So you've just got to stay calm, hit that ramp with precision, and then be ready to react to the track and let that come back to you for your next move.
All right, thank you, Leslie. Adam, you and I have talked a lot throughout this episode about Bryce's run in Atlanta, winning the freestyle competition, and I question how you can top that. A lot of pressure on him, but if he just relies on the truck to kind of throw him throughout this track and see what happens, that could cause chaos mode here and lead to some carnage, which could lead to another win.
Yeah, it definitely could. That's the exact recipe, Scott. But tonight, for Bryce Kenny, he doesn't need to worry about that fantastic wow moment like he had in Atlanta. The track is not going to allow him to be able to do that with these muddy conditions. But a word that Leslie did say was precision, and I think that is very important in these muddy conditions, making sure you get 2 front tires on that race ramp, line everything up just that little bit more, allowing you to get a good jump or a good air for this crowd to give you a high score.
Bryce Kenny has the second highest average on this series, 8.631. There's the score to beat Lindsey Reed, Lucas stabilizer, as Bryce Kenny now has some room here, going for some big air transfers right up onto the pod, continues to go riding that wave of momentum, floats it, clips the step up, and a nice clean pass across the track for Great Clips Mohawk Warrior.
You can tell that mud's taking a little edge off those bounces, keeping the truck straight.
Morgan back for the attempt here for Bryce Kenny. Great Clips Mohawk Warrior lands hard on the back, tries to get a reverse wheelie, ends up landing it. My, oh my, what a backflip for Bryce Kenny.
Wow, over-rotates that backflip, lands right on the rear two BKT tires, destroys the back of that truck.
I don't know how he was able to get the reverse moonwalk on that, but he nailed it anyway. And that brings us to Todd LeDuc and Megalodon, the two-time World Finals champion out of Peoria, Arizona. Todd's had a great second half to his season. We have talked about this all throughout this series, starting in dead last at 12th spot, climbing all the way up to within striking distance at third, 3 overall event wins, 3 freestyle wins, and now has the third highest average on this series. Todd LeDuc on an absolute rail here when it comes to freestyle. What does Todd need to do to take the lead away from Lindsey Reed?
Todd just needs to keep doing what he's doing. He's gotten so much momentum at the latter half of this season. It's just amazing to watch him come on and really produce as an athlete in Megalodon, in that truck. Been absolutely fantastic.
Megalodon is the 4th truck he has driven in this stadium. Metal Militia, Mutant, and Monster Energy. He won the event championship back here in 2021. And I think it's important to note that Todd will live to compete another day, as Tyler Menninga not going to clinch the series. So Todd LeDuc still very much alive in the series points championship race.
Nice little sky wheelie right there. But, you know, that is the most important thing for Todd LeDuc. Make Tyler earn every single point. You never know what's going to happen in Monster Jam. Our saying is expect the unexpected.
Morgan backflip here for Todd LeDuc. He goes up Megalodon straight up, gets nice 360, lands hard on the side. No chance for a sidewall save there. Todd LeDuc's run is done.
You can see right here, he kind of gets a little bit of a pirouette going on, lands really hard on that left BKT. There's some damage that they're going to have to fix on Megalodon.
We're going to check out the current freestyle leaderboard. Lindsey Reed still has the lead with a 9.463. Max D in second. Great Clips Mohawk Warrior third. Megalodon fourth. And Toro Loco in fifth. The event championship is down to 2. Will it be Lindsey Reed or Tristan England? We crown our event winner next on Monster Jam. We are back with more freestyle at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. And our next competitor with a shot at the event championship right here out of Paris, Texas, the reigning World Finals racing champion, Tristan England in JCB Digatron.
Lindsey Reed definitely putting on a show early. Fantastic job from her, but Tristan England in a great spot to get this event championship. I would give the advantage to Tristan England right now, especially because the track does look like it's starting to tack up, get a little bit stickier for these trucks, a little bit more momentum onto the pod. Nice job, Tristan England.
Freestyle's been the one competition he's really lacked that wow moment throughout this season. He has 1 freestyle win. He does have the 4th highest average on the season, but it is admittedly, in his opinion, been the one competition he's missed out on, as he gets a nice nose wheelie combo up on the pod, then floats it across into a slap wheelie.
Yeah, coming up short on the pod, getting a nice bounce. But for Tristan England, you know, he's learning. He came off so many arena championships. He's won so much over there. He's in a brand new truck this year, JCB Digatron. He's taking his time. I like the way he's done it. He didn't put the pressure on himself too much to win the first year of championship. Nice air off the backside of that jump.
In a wheelie combo, he literally almost went over, flipped it completely back, is able to catch it on the back 2 wheels and make the save and continue his run. What a save for Tristan England.
I think that's the most creative thing we've seen so far in freestyle.
That was just a crushing bounce for him. Now he's going to go for the Morgan backflip. Here comes JCB Digatron, center of the container, and he lands it perfectly. He does get the moonwalk on the backside, so great combo move. And this is a freestyle winning run we're seeing right now out of Tristan England.
Yeah, that was precision at its finest. He made sure he took that little extra moment to line up that backflip so that it was nice and square, so all 4 BKTs were landing nice and square so the truck didn't bounce too much or didn't give him a bad kick.
Goes right into a donut as he comes all the way across the pod onto the transfer. Great run for Tristan. We take a look at the super glue replay.
Hits the back of that jump, gets a huge air and a little combination move. And then right here, you see him coming into the Morgan & Morgan backflip. Hits that ramp nice and square and precise. Gets a bounce. BKT tires hooking up once again.
9.290, not enough to take the freestyle lead, definitely enough to win the event championship. And this is our final competitor, Tyler Menninga, Gravedigger. With more on Tyler, we go back to Leslie.
So I asked Tyler at halftime if his plan for freestyle had changed since he wasn't going to be able to clinch tonight. And he told me clinching was never the plan tonight. We have a big enough cushion that we're just going to let it happen organically, naturally. We're not going to push anything. We're just going to take it one competition at a time and do what we've done all year long.
So if clinching was never the plan executed perfectly here tonight in Foxborough.
I don't know if that was the exact plan, Scott. I might be hearing a fib there, but if I'm in the championship hunt and I can clinch it a few rounds earlier or a round early, I am going to do that. But right now, bigger problems. Tyler Menninga shut off.
Able to get it fired again, goes right back, accelerates, hits the pod, comes down into a nose wheelie, ends up back on all 4 BKT tires, and now trying to drift around this muddy track. Final competitor here in our final competition of the night at Gillette.
Yeah, let's talk about the track more, and this is what we were talking about with the advantage. You can see those BKT tires right there. Look at how much more traction the tires are putting out on that track. You can see the mud and the dirt flying off. The truck isn't slipping as much as it did before. Tyler Menninga with a big advantage having traction on those BKTs in this later freestyle, but he lands on the lid.
Traction not going to get it anywhere in the mud right there. That is it for Tyler Menninga. Check out the super glue. Glue to the action replay.
Comes up, gets a really nice air here, but you can see the dirt just gives way. He gets a funky bounce, lands on the hood, tries to throttle out, but can't quite do it.
Here's our final freestyle top 5. Lindsey Reed, Lucas Stabilizer takes the win. Max D finishes in 2nd. JCB Digatron finds his way into 3rd. Great Clips Mohawk Warrior in 4th. And Todd LeDuc in Megalodon ends up in 5th, rounding out the top 5. So Lindsey with her first freestyle win of the season, and she is on the track with Leslie.
So, Lindsey, you told me that you were glad to be back to your regular track, and it looked like you were really feeling it. What do you think really pushed you over the edge tonight to get this freestyle victory?
Look, I'm going to tell you, I actually planned out that whole run in my head, and I didn't think it was going to work because this track was so slick. I thought for sure I'd end up in a place I didn't really want to be, but I knew I wanted to get to the corners and make that transfer to the middle. I knew I wanted to backflip at the end. And it all turned out so perfect. I'm so pumped up. Lucas Stabilizer deserved this win. I wanted to get one before the season was over, and here it is.
Lindsey gets 12 points with that win as we check out our final BKT overall point standings of the night. Tristan England, JCB Digatron finishes with 31 points ahead of Lindsey. He'll take the win. Bryce Kenny in 3rd. Cole Vennard Black Pearl finishes in 4th. And Todd LeDuc in Megalodon once again rounds out the top 5. So for Tristan, it's his 2nd event win of the season. Let's check back in with Leslie.
So, Tristan, you knew tonight coming in, it was about upsetting the apple cart, not letting Tyler clinch, and boy, did you do more than that in a big way. Skills, that huge freestyle, that big air and save. It's got to be pretty gratifying tonight.
Oh, it feels amazing. I mean, like we talked about earlier at the beginning of the event, that guy, he's already been on a stadium tour before, so he's already had this under his feet. He's winning against Ryan Anderson, one of the best of the best. But now it's my turn to come up to the stadium ranks, and then we're having a blast. I cannot tell you how much fun we're having with this new Digatron truck, but it's the teamwork, man. It's Howie. He's keeping my head level. I was freaking out before this event. I was, and yeah, I'm a dirt track racer at heart, and when we don't succeed in racing, it's frustrating, man. It really is, but going out there, solidifying the skills win, and then being able to pick it all back up for the freestyle, I had that guy in my ear telling me to pick it up when I needed to pick it up, and it showed today. And, I mean, we get to take this little hardware home, but nothing's going to solidify this even more than us getting our ticket to Monster Emerald Finals and getting an even bigger one for our JCB team, man. That would be amazing. But I have my whole family out there. Howie will be there, too, for the World Finals. It's going to be a good weekend.
It was also a good weekend in Foxborough for Lindsay Reed as she wins her first freestyle of the season, and Tristan England comes up huge, winning the overall. Adam, can they both build on this and keep that momentum going?
You know, for Lindsay Reed, it is going to be difficult. They need to go back and look and see why her truck is working in these muddy conditions. But for Tristan England, yes, I do believe he can continue this, and he has to.
Tyler Menninga will have a chance to clinch the championship in Denver. But first, for us, we head back to the West Series with Monster Jam action from Glendale. For Adam Entenap and Leslie Mears, I'm Scott Jordan. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you right here next time on Monster Jam.